Good morning, Art 2 and Art 3-4. Today we're going to have an opportunity to reflect a little bit at some work that you were not so happy with. In other words, you made something, you didn't really like the way it looked, and then you decided to kind of keep it to the side. But now I want you to look at it, because sometimes when you look at something, after a while, you might have another opportunity to find changes. And this is the creative process. So here's a piece that I am currently reworking. Originally didn't have these cutouts here. These are X-Acto blade cutouts and kind of stencils. I thought it was too busy. I had this big kind of black sumi ink thing. I had a lot of charcoal brushes as well as this kind of foggy painting. And I used this image to kind of convey that a bit. However, I looked in my little studio here and I said, I feel like it might be interesting because it was so busy. What if I use a stencil and create my own stencil? So I used an X-Acto blade to cut it out. And here are some examples of my sons. They were just doing some fun, silly graffiti drawings, and I thought this kind of would look good as a background, maybe. I'm still not sure, maybe, or maybe not, maybe white background, I'm not sure. But I kind of like that tone paper with the greens and the greens that pop with the natural floral arrangement that I have. So I'm just going to demonstrate that this is kind of a very freeing process. I mean, at first I wasn't even really too thrilled with it, so now I can really take a lot of creative risks. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm going to keep this either, but this is a really healthy exercise because sometimes we get, like, you know, we have very clear visions and we can't quite get that vision. It can be very frustrating. But just trying something new, like X-Acto blade, no less ink right now, just trying a different medium or material or technique allows me to kind of work a little more intuitively. So right now I'm kind of like these shapes. These are different size shapes, smaller shapes and more clear-cut shapes compared to this kind of big brushstroke thing that I did, very gestural, loose way of working. So those two kind of complement each other. And also what I'm experimenting with is trying to lift it up, not necessarily taking it all out. Here's an example where I actually did the stencil and I took it all out, like the paper out. But I might leave some as like flaps of some sort. So if you have an X-Acto blade, maybe you want to try it. If you don't have one, you can use a scissors. You can cut stuff and rearrange them like another collage and just come up with more abstract imagery. So again, this is the assignment for today, is kind of look at some artwork that you don't really like, rearrange it, give it a new look, new attitude. It's a very healthy creative process that I try to do once in a while when I feel like I need to take a break of a less serious series of work that I'm developing. And then sometimes you discover that, wow, this actually is leading on to something else. I kind of like this shape, actually. And this is the shape of it is. But I might even, you know, with glue or something, I might rearrange it again. I might keep some shapes. I might even keep some of them I tossed. But I might even, like, I don't know, maybe I just do that or something with it. It kind of looks like it's moving, or I stitch into it or something like that. So I might sometimes, even if you're not sure, just keep things to the side and kind of see what happens. So how am I figuring out what to cut out? That might be a good question. Well, some of the images where I feel like it's just too loose and blurry looking, I want to refine it. So I like this kind of curved shape here. When you use X-Acto blade, make sure you go away from your body, away from your fingers. You try not to get cut. It's good to use your shoulder and your arm. Usually I stand up doing this since it's better tension, but I'm going to try to do that. And I like to play with the curvilinear marks, so some are thick, some are thin, kind of like a calligraphic graffiti look to it, which can help as well. And every so often when you do this, it's really healthy. If you know, it's one thing to work vertically on a table. I mean, I'm sorry, horizontal on a table. But it's another thing to look at it vertically. So if you even have just a wall, you don't need an easel, but just a wall, just kind of see every so often what you're doing. And you know, take your time and see what happens. It's just a healthy exercise that we would probably do if I was in class with you. Anyways, happy adventures with art. Keep exploring. Take it easy.